Arsenal's PR team on social media put out a tweet statement. We're ready for a statement. Well, guess what? Statement has been made. Premier League winning manager Arne Slot cut the king of the bridesmaid Mikel Arteta and ended their Big Six record stretching back to April 2023. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Without any further ado, let's get into this one. This was a massive game. Two of the top two of last season going head to head. Sides coming in with 2 wins from 2. One looking defensively strong, while the other are scoring goals for fun, even though defensively was looking shaky coming into the game. But let's break it down from the first half. The first half, I feel like Liverpool started off like on the front foot, given that the lineup that Arsenal put out was very negative. Like, it looked like Arteta was not trying to go for the win. He was looking like he was not trying to lose the game. Whilst our side was full of attacking intent. Obviously, Szoboszlai was playing that right back. McAllister, Gravenberch, Burks in the midfield, three. And then you've got the likes of Ekitike, Salah, Gakpo, and etc. etc. You understand? But you know what it is though? The first half, I feel like we were so poor. We were so poor. We was playing to Arsenal's strengths. Because obviously Arsenal don't like the game when it's chaotic, innit? They like it when it's like the crowd settled down. They like it when it's controlled, so it plays at their pace. And that's exactly what's happening in the first half, man. We was moving the ball we wasn't moving the ball with intent the way I would want us to move the ball with intent. Obviously, Florian Wirtz was shocking in the first half, unfortunately. But I do feel like we're not using him to the best of his capabilities because he's having to come so deep within the first phase of build-up to collect the ball because obviously he's not getting the ball that much in his natural position. So the likes of McAllister and Gravenberch was finding it hard to feed him in them areas because Arsenal was crowded with defensive-minded players. Obviously, Ekitike was trying to hit it long to him. That's not his strength. You have to play him with the ball at his feet to get the best out of Ekitike. That didn't happen today. Salah was awful, unfortunately. Egyptian king as always, but today, for me, it was the worst performance I've seen since the Crystal Palace Anfield performance back in 2024, which we lost 1-0. You understand? But the first half, Arsenal had more shots. They had more shots on target. Actually, let me bring up the stats right now, actually. So, I can't really bring up the stats, but obviously, in total, Arsenal had 11 shots. We had 9. In the first half, though, we only had 2 shots, none on target. I remember the stat they showed on Sky Sports. It was poor the way he was using the ball. Obviously, it looked like we were so disjointed in the first half, and I still have that same concerns. We looked disjointed, because let's not forget, we won the game by a set piece, you understand? It's like, obviously, when Kirkes is not playing the way he was playing at Bournemouth, he's having to build up in the back three and that to be more, he's making inverted runs rather than overlapping. So that's not getting the best out of Kirkes. Florian Wirtz, like I said, had to come deep. McAllister doesn't look fit because he was losing the ball. And then when we was getting to promising positions, because it was very hard. It's very hard to play against Arsenal and get promising positions like minute after minute after minute because they're probably the best defensive team in Europe. You understand? So when you have the opportunities to really hurt them, you have to take them chances. And we weren't doing that. We were sloppy on the ball, especially in the final third. We were so sloppy on the ball. And Arsenal, to their credit, they didn't play with any fear. They played their game. Obviously, set pieces wise, Liverpool defended very well. And I'm going to get onto Liverpool's way of defending in a minute. But yeah, man, I feel like the first half was poor from Liverpool standards, and Arsenal was more than happy to go into the half-time 0-0. You understand? Because the likes of Odegaard and Eze was on the bench, so they had options to change the game. But the performance definitely improved. I feel like we made it more end-to-end. We made it more end-to-end in the second half, and that played to our strengths because we was getting into promising positions. We was using the ball a bit better. Salah wasn't using the ball well. His touches was off. His passing was off. His shooting was off. Salah was atrocious, unfortunately. Gakpo was getting into the game. Florian Wirtz was getting into the game as well, carrying the ball. Unfortunately, picked up a hamstring injury. Obviously, Curtis Jones came out, injected that energy, whilst Arsenal was trying to play. Like, obviously, Madueke had a very good game. He was causing Kirkes real problem with his pace, but I feel like Kirkes dealt with him well because he was making last-ditch challenges, last-ditch blocks, you understand? But Madueke was bringing in the real pace. Martinelli was poor. Very poor. Gyökeres, non-existent. I told people when he's up against the best defender in the world by a country mile, he was never going to do anything. And shout out Ibrahima Konate. Get well soon, because that's the Konate I want to see, and that's the Konate I expect from him when his head's in the game, because he's a very good flipping defender. And he showed that today. He showed that against Gyökeres. He showed that against the Arsenal attackers. When Konate is on it, it's very difficult to cause him trouble. You understand? And that's exactly what happened today. And then, but back to Arsenal, though. Obviously, Declan Rice, Zubimendi is very very weak, but I feel like we should have pressed him a lot more in the first half. We didn't. Declan Rice was comfy. Moreno, obviously he's not creative, so he was just doing Moreno things, you understand? And then Arsenal's defence, like, their defence was comfy, like, there's a reason they're starting to concede from open play so far this season, innit? Because they are comfy. Arteta done a lot of work organising that defence, and it paid off, innit? But we was threatening. I feel like in the second half we was the better side in the second half because we was threatening. And then the free kick arrived and Dominic Szoboszlai with an absolute screamer. Posting in, no chance for David Raya. And that just epitomized his performance to me. It was a 10 out of 10 performance. He was everywhere. He was inverting in the midfield, making progressive passes. He was defending very well against Martinelli. Martinelli couldn't get a sniff. He was swaying them passes like prime Steven Gerrard. You understand? And he capped off with a brilliant, brilliant goal. Virgil van Dijk, what more do I need to say? Best defender in the world by a country mile. Captain, leader, legend, as always. Konate, brilliant. Kirkes, obviously, I don't like the way he backs off too much, but he does make last-ditch challenges and tackles, innit? And thankfully, it worked today. You understand? So, yeah, man. There's definitely a lot of work to improve on in terms of Liverpool, in terms of finding the right balance, finding the way to move the ball well. But 3 wins from 3, and we don't even look nowhere near to our best. There's positives to take all day, every day. Obviously, Florian Wirtz and Ibrahim Konate's looks like they're going to be out for a lengthy period of time due to injury, but hopefully they get well soon. But talking about Arsenal, yeah, I can't lie. This is why I have big question marks about Arsenal's mentality. We was there for the taking. We wasn't moving the ball well. Yes, we was defending brilliantly. Before I get onto Arsenal, let me just mention this point. Defensively, we've been questioned, and rightly so, because we looked all over the place. But today, we dealt with set pieces very well. Arsenal's biggest strength, we dealt with that. Ground jewels, dealing with that, not shying away from 50-50s. Aerial jewels doing our thing, getting physical. We was absolutely monstrous, and what a way to get our first clean sheet of the season. Hopefully more, you understand? But back to Arsenal, this is why I question their mentality. In grounds like Anfield and Etihad, you have to have the confidence and the mentality to go there and try win the game. The lineup was so negative. I literally thought, I knew Odegaard wasn't going to start, but I thought Eze was going to start in that 10, you know. I genuinely thought he was going to start in that 10. He never started. He started with 3 midfielders that... Obviously, Declan Rice is more complete, but Zubimendi, he's more defensive-minded. Moreno, more defensive-minded and keeps it, stepping, if that makes sense. Like, I don't feel like he had the intent to win the game. The intent was not to lose, innit? And it cost Arsenal, bro. It cost them. And this is why I have questions about their mentality. But... obviously, as a Liverpool fan, I am over the moon. We finally ended their Big 6 record. It was about time we beat these Arsenal jokers because we haven't beaten them for a while in the Premier League. You understand? So, obviously, let me see if I can get the statistic up. Apologies. And, yeah, man, obviously, 9 shots to 11. Arsenal got more shots on target. No, we got more shots on target, especially in the second half. Defensively, we done very well. Ground jewels, we want more ground. We want more ground jewels, aerial jewels, jewels, 1 altogether. Like, come on, man. We done our thing still. The first half, we was poor. I'm not going to lie. The second half, we done our thing. Obviously, Szoboszlai, man of the match as always. Alisson done his thing. McAllister, I feel like, looked sluggish today. Gravenberch done his thing. And, yeah, the substitutes, obviously, Joe Gomez done his thing. And, yeah, man, that's all I have to say. 3 wins from 3, despite not playing anywhere near our best. There's only positives from here. International break now, and let's attack this Premier League title. The only team to have a 100% record. Inject it to my veins. Let's go. Peace out, you lot. Make sure you keep subscribing, though. I think it's 8 or 9 more to 200 subscribers, so I'll appreciate if I land that. But until then, peace out. Let's go.